Hey, everybody. Welcome to What Drives Us, episode 299 for November 14th, 2018. My name is Russell Frost. I am your host on this journey into advanced technology and sustainable energy. And look at the panel. Look at the panel. Oh, my God. Everybody's here, and it's going to be a good show. We've got lots of fun stuff to talk about, some sort of show maintenance announcements we'll be making. So let's get in and get going once we introduce everybody. My wingman on this show, he is unfortunately but an avatar because he's on bad hotel Wi-Fi, and he doesn't like his ensemble. Yes, Tony, I outed you. Tony Schaefer.
Hey, it's true. I'm sitting here in a hotel. I'm on the couch. If you watched last week's show, I felt that the lighting was horrible, and so besides the Wi-Fi is crappy, so it's just better if I do this. I'm going to do some early shout outs. First, I'm going to do a shout out to Gabrielle Garcia Ryan and John Elmore and E1108EDUC for subscribing to the channel, but a very special shout out to Brenda Thompson, who's our most recent subscriber and in the chat room right now.
Hey, right on. Hi, Brenda.
Yeah, so thanks for subscribing. Makes us feel good when we pick up some more subscribers.
Absolutely.
Hey, so Tony, all those reasons you said you're not on there, why did you say it was because you didn't have your makeup person there with you?
Damn it.
He has no pants on.
Speaking of makeup person, did you fire yours? What's going on there?
There's only so much they can do with this mug.
Speaking of that mug, the man speaking who does not have the benefit of a makeup person this week, our friend, Dr. Evan Fusco.
Yes, the owner of only 2 Teslas as of about a week ago. So another pre-show shout out to Paul Guzik and Boulder Hybrids for taking care of that for me.
That's it. If you have a Tesla, you need to be taken care of. Paul Guzik's the man to talk to.
Or if you need to buy a used Leaf because the party that bought Evans traded in their Leaf. So the Leaf is the gateway drug to EVs.
Definitely is.
And the Prius is the gateway drug to the Leaf,
Yep.
as we've discussed in years gone by.
Yep.
In fact, Evan has made that exact argument. Well, speaking of arguments, a man that always agrees with me and I always agree with him, our man in the Pacific Northwest, Mr. Patrick Connor.
Excelsior. Shout out to Stan Lee.
Oh.
You'll be missed, brother.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're bringing me.
Dang, bro.
As you guys know, I do that trip down to San Diego in the X with the Ultimate Nerd Road Trip. And last year I got his signature, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
And I'm a big comic book fan. You can see Harley over there looking over my shoulder. So, yeah, goodbye, Stan.
No more cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they've shot any more that we haven't seen yet.
I bet they have. I bet there's got to be at least a couple.
I hope so.
At least maybe 2, right? For Marvel and for the final installment of Infinity War.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have a portrait in every episode going forward or something.
Let's see. And speaking of people that do good things for other people on this show, he owns Boulder Hybrids in Boulder, Colorado. You can find him online at boulderhc.com. Mr. Paul Guzik.
Hey guys and gals out there, glad to be back. And if anybody can see these 3 things up on the shelf,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
anybody in the chat room want to guess what they are? They'll get a gold star.
Ooh, gold star.
And a 10% discount on a Leaf.
Gold star.
I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I don't even have a guess, but okay, I like that. There's a contest. Take it away, chat room. Figure it out.
Yeah, don't tell us yet. Give them time.
Last and not least, he is well known for being the biggest Boxing Day advocate in North America. Our friend in Canada, Mr. Mark Coughlin.
Absolutely. Nothing like a stat holiday to make you happy. Exactly. But welcome to the show, everybody. We've got some crazy news this week, so let's get to it.
I'm feeling crazy. Let's do a little housekeeping here, sort of, just because we need to. It's the holiday season, and obviously we don't always broadcast on certain holidays because, hey, everybody has a life here, and since it's not like working at Best Buy, we don't do the show sometimes. So that's going to happen actually pretty soon, which is sort of frustrating because we're at show 299. The next show is 300. We want to celebrate, but we're going to be off next week and the following week. Okay.
But for good reason.
We're going to, I'm sorry?
But for very good reason.
For very good reason.
Build up anticipation for number 300. That's why.
Absolutely. Anticipation for 300. We'll be off on the 21st for Thanksgiving. And we'll be off on the 28th because I'm going to be at the Los Angeles Auto Show. Ooh.
Cool.
And so expect some cool live stuff from there. Anything more I say about that is just going to be giving things away. So the big show 300, December 5th, December 5, unless something happens. December 5th will be the next What Drives Us, and that will be show 300. Please tell a friend, please tune in. And thank you. I also want to thank all 689 people that have subscribed so far. They went to their YouTube page, youtube.com/What Drives Us. They hit that subscribe button and they supported the show. It cost them nothing. Thank you. Seriously, thank you so much. 689 is an amazing number. And I'm not a Kardashian. I don't have 5 million subscribers, but
ours are more fun and loyal and smart.
Yeah. We like to think you're not here for the softcore porn. Well, maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe we need to turn that up a notch. Evan, can we see your butt?
If I had one, I would share it.
Okay. Well, I'm just, I'm just, anything to for the show,
Wow. And I went Avatar only because I figured you wouldn't want to see me sitting on the couch naked in a hotel. But
I didn't even. I'm turning your audio off. Okay. I don't even want to know that. I don't even want to know that. So yeah, that's the housekeeping. We're going to be off for a couple of weeks, but we will be back. And get ready for December 5th. We're going to have a lot of good news in between there. I will be filing some stuff from the LA Auto Show or shortly thereafter. So yeah.
And what's the big rumor at the LA Auto Show, Russell?
Well, now I hear tell that Toyota has a new version of the Prius. And the speculation is, I've read this on Green Car Reports.
Green Car Reports, look at that right there.
Yeah, they had a teaser that was like pretty much a novel explaining what's going on. It looks like the Prius is getting all-wheel drive.
Woo.
In North America.
North America.
I was going to say, it's about time they bring it.
Other places.
Well, we've been bad. We were punished. Now we'll get our prize. So Toyota's having a press conference at 11 o'clock, the first day of the press day of the LA Auto Show. And I will definitely be attending that. And you will see some live posting.
Shout out, does it have more ground clearance?
Why would it have more ground clearance?
Well, because all-wheel drive without more clearance isn't the greatest in the snow.
Right. Yeah, that's a good question if they don't address it.
I don't know. That's an interesting point, Paul, and it'll be interesting to see.
Colorado, it snows, and every Prius owner says, I wish I had all-wheel drive, and I wish I had a few more inches of clearance because I get hung up on snow mounds and stuff.
I wonder what that would do to the efficiency, raising it up.
It would take a hit, but people here buy Subarus all the time that have 4 inches more ground clearance, and they love them.
Sure.
Okay,
a lot
pneumatic suspension so that you could, push the button and raise it up.
There you go.
Yeah.
What does the all-wheel drive do to the efficiency?
Right. Well, that's the other thing.
Because it's going to be electric all-wheel drive, so it's only going to kick in when needed.
Oh, good.
Just like the Highlander and the RAV4.
Are you familiar with this EAWD system that they have deployed, Paul?
Not the Prius version, but I am with. They've been doing it since '06 in the Highlander, and the RAV4 is the same concept. So the rear end is 100% electric. There's no drive shaft,
Right.
no mechanical link, and it only turns on when wheels are slipping. So
And
it's very elegantly done.
It's very low horsepower too.
Right. And it's very efficient.
Very efficient. Okay. Well,
So, yeah, let's hope they make it in the Prius and they give it a little bit more ground clearance.
yeah. I mean, even without the ground clearance, it's
It would definitely help without the ground clearance, but with the ground clearance, sell your Subaru stock.
it'd be you think? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, especially a plug-in version. Oh.
From what I understand, the EAWD in the RAV4 is pretty good, pretty efficient. People have said good things about that.
and that's just a smaller version of what they developed for the Highlander back in the day.
Yeah. So
Now,
Well,
you guys did hear about the other thing about the LA Auto Show is the smart cars coming out with all-wheel drive, and I think they did the larger ground clearance.
Yeah, that does have a little more clearance.
Wow.
No problem with snowbanks in the smart. Yes, indeed.
That's our show for this week, folks. Thank you.
Can't top that one.
Wow. Well, that was actually the first story, of course, the all-wheel drive, allegedly, Prius. Green Car Reports made some inferences, I guess, based on the photo that Toyota teased everybody with, which was a Prius kicking up snow and driving through what looked to be like a blizzard. Yeah, so not really very subtle with that teaser campaign.
no, not really. And they make the inferences that they make are, make perfect sense. Because they have the E4 Prius in Japan. They add a third motor at the rear wheels for traction stability and additional regenerative braking. They say that it produces 5.3 kilowatts, which is just over 7 horsepower. And yeah, I mean, the inference is they're just going to bring that technology to the U.S., something they haven't done yet. So I want to say all the signs are pointing toward an all-wheel drive Prius in 2019.
Which is a
So
good
what
thing.
drives this 8-ball says so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of companies doing things for their owners, Tesla, a company some of you may have heard of, has this car called the Model 3. And a couple of people have bought it. They've made a few. It's making a little dent in the marketplace. Uh-oh. What's Patrick doing? Is he getting a gun or something? Oh, Patrick's. Let's see. Oh, there we go. There's the. Oh, no. Is that really? Is that the box? Oh,
Yeah.
that's your model.
Is that the box
Yeah.
your Model 3 came in?
Yep.
Yes, this is it. Yeah.
It's a blow up.
Oh.
The inflatable.
Hey, keep it clean.
Hey, Russell, presenting.
I know. No. There we go. Okay, Patrick. Well, so Tesla, people have been looking for a key fob because they've had problems with the Bluetooth on the phone. They've had some confusion with the card. Tesla wasn't originally going to do a key fob, and then because of customer demand, made a key fob. A mere $150 for residents of the United States. Of course, if you're Canadian, you have to pay a penalty. It's $200 Canadian.
Well, it's only 100 toonies, but
100 toonies, yes.
100 toonies.
That's how you get the Canadian discount.
That's
Right.
it.
Look at that. There's a glow in the dark one.
yeah.
Oh, what's that still doing there?
This is Tony's. Tony's is going out later.
Oh.
I was like, isn't that supposed to be at my house?
You know what I got in the mail today? Exactly one of those. Well packaged, by the way. That was a lot of tape.
He did that on purpose. I'm sure.
I had to work for my toonie.
Yeah, exactly.
So what?
So-
So the new fob is fully featured, right? It does all the wonderful, great things.
Except
Well,
one.
Yeah, not really.
I'm trying not to be the boat anchor on this show.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and say that Tesla is holding. Well, I'm going to say not holding firm to you must use your phone, but for those of you who also watch or listen to the Tesla life, we've established that the Model 3 doesn't have the hardware for the not remote entrance. What is it? Auto unlock?
Passive.
Passive
Passive
unlock.
entry.
So
Yeah.
like a smart key, you walk up to the
Yeah.
vehicle and it unlocks.
I don't know that we were conclusive on that. We know that they don't have
Yes.
it enabled today, and suspect that there might be some missing hardware, but you never know. You never know. They might come out with a software version later that enables more features. They might, who knows? What we do
Hardware.
know is that they are not enabling the thieves that are using the fob extenders to steal cars. That's what they're not doing, for
Right.
sure.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and look, Paul. So I went during the Tesla show, I kind of went through a little head check of like, okay, it'll have to have an actuator, it'll have to have a receiver. What hardware thing could be missing to make passive work?
Well, there's numerous antennas on the car, like on a
Right.
Prius with a smart key system, and they're transmitting at a certain frequency, which is way different than Bluetooth. So if they only put in a Bluetooth receiver, there's a piece of hardware that they'd have to add, and or multiple pieces of hardware so that it will work if you walk up to the trunk, walk up to the passenger side,
Mm.
walk up to the driver's side, like the Gen 2 Prius had in 2004, which was revolutionary at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what the guys in the chat were saying, that hardware just isn't there in the
Yeah.
3.
Well,
No doubt they'll come out with a retrofit if enough people want it, and say, for $800, we'll put the appropriate hardware into your car to make it work.
So here's
or,
my
or
question.
They'll just say 2019s have it, and before
Yeah.
that, 2-year out left.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, what a lot of other car companies do. If you want the new feature, you buy the new car.
So here's what I want to know is if there's no passive entry, but is it passive start? If you have the key in your pocket, will the Model 3 start? Or do you have to put it on the spot where you would put the card on the center console inside the car? And then,
Well-
and will the car unlock if you put it up on the B pillar. Where the card goes? Does it have the same features as the card?
That's a
Or
good question.
I'm sure it would have the same features as the card, because that's pretty simple to do.
Right, but so that would just have to have an NFC chip in there. That would be pretty easy. If you guys give me $150, I'll go buy one and we can answer all of these questions.
No.
I'm sure the chat or whatever in a few days, whoever gets them, they'll have all the answers.
Somebody, please. But now somebody on the Tesla show, was it Evan or Patrick, suggested that because the card works and the phone works on Bluetooth, that's why the fob wouldn't work passively, because they didn't have, is it RFID?
No, it's
it's-
RF.
It's NFC. It's RF, excuse me.
So it's the near frequency, NFC?
Yeah, that's what the card has in it. That's what you touch on the B pillar.
Right.
And then the phone uses Bluetooth low energy.
Right.
And fobs typically use RF, like 370 hertz range or something like that. And
Okay.
so they're all, like Paul said, there's a bunch of different antennas. There are some fractal antennas you can get that can receive multiple different bandwidths, but normally they're separate antennas. And if this one doesn't have one for RF, then it's not going to support passive entry.
The right band that is typically used for car remotes.
So-
Right. Yep.
So,
Yep.
like your phone has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and cellular, which are 3 different bands, but it's engineered to do it all.
Right.
The car, if it doesn't have the appropriate hardware, is not going to do it. Just like you can open a Tesla with a Bluetooth phone, but you can't open your Prius with a Bluetooth phone because Toyota didn't put a Bluetooth hardware and software to do that. Which
Exactly.
they could say, hey, you know what? You can program your phone to let you into your car instead of carrying our smart key. Kind of the opposite of what Tesla did.
Mhm.
But so far, no one that I know of has done that, even though it wouldn't be that hard to do. With every phone having Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I have a little story here with my ex. The other day, I was walking up to it, and normally, as you walk up to it, it wakes up and the mirrors pop out. But I was in a tight parking spot, and it woke up, but the mirrors didn't pop out. And then after I walked past the mirror, then it came out, which was really cool. I'm like, how did it know that I needed to fit through here and not to fold out? I don't know what magic they programmed there, but it was awesome.
That's pretty cool. So they knew there was a car beside it.
I don't know if it just waited for me to pass the mirror before it unfolded, but yeah, it worked great. Yeah.
And your car knows it has snow tires.
So just to go back, so the support page for the Model 3 key fob says that like even without a battery, it will, once programmed, it functions just like your key card. So it will unlock on the B pillar. It will start the car by putting it in the center console. But it
doesn't need a battery to function because it's NFC.
Right. But nowhere in there does it say one way or the other how to start the car in normal operation, whether there's a passive start feature or if you have to put the key over the center console spot or not. It doesn't say anywhere.
Sounds like you do have to put it in the center console. That makes it. You can't even leave it in your pocket and just like put it through your pocket. That's too bad.
I understand that, but
so that's still going to be confusing.
Pretty lame.
Confusing as hell for valets, because that's the one thing we talked about in the last show is that, you know, it'd be easier for the valets. They get confused by the card and things like that. But even with this, you're going to have to tell them where to put the damn thing, or they're not going to be able to start the car.
And then they're going to tell you where to put the damn thing.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So someone on the Tesla chat store needs to make a sticker. Put key here to start. Actually, it will. I think there's a isn't there something on the valet screen? I think it does. It tells them how to use it. Right.
Or maybe it's just on the back of the card.
It's on the back of the card, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which won't be on the key fob, so they might not be able to figure it out.
Yeah. I'm so old. I remember when the Prius came with a little pad of valet instructions.
Mm-hmm.
I still have those.
Gosh.
You saved them.
Oh yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well,
Well, Tony has the next story about special features of a Tesla.
Oh yeah. So there's this little thing going on the West Coast. Apparently, California has decided to clear burn itself.
We do that once in a while.
Yeah, the self-emulation of California. No, there's raging wildfires in California, and it's terribly horrible. So, you know, I should not make light of it. So far, they're saying more than 630,000 acres, and you know, more than double of the amount of forest fire that was burned last year. And a lot of these things, you know, with so much destruction, people are trying to get out, and even the places that aren't currently burning are downwind, and the air is absolutely unbreathable for people. But that is where Tesla's bioweapon defense mode comes in and kind of helps save the day. There are people who have sensors for air quality, and they show outside the air quality is absolutely atrocious. They get inside their Prius with the bioweapon defense mode. Wait, I'm sorry. What did I say?
You said Prius.
Oh, the Prius. Okay, because we were. Okay. Sorry, I was formulating two sentences ahead. So they get in their Tesla, and they show that the air is so pure that there's hardly any detectable particulates.
Oh.
And if you're not familiar with what this is, Tesla has installed filters that was at one point said is 10 times the size of a normal cabin filter and more than 100 times more efficient, and would filter viruses 800 times better than normal.
I mean, it's like a hospital operating room cleanliness, right?
Right. They
Yeah.
did say it's a hospital grade HEPA filter.
Yeah. So so this is where it came from, bringing the pollution levels down from 1,000 micrograms per cubic meter to undetectable levels. And so this is great. Now, we know that, of course, an electric vehicle, unlike a internal combustion engine, doesn't have to draw in air in order to work. So the car itself is more capable of driving through polluted air, and then it's filtering it so well that the occupants inside are kept safe. So a truly cool use for Tesla's really super filters, the bioweapon defense mode. So I just thought that was really worth mentioning. It's,
It's very cool.
It's saving lives, and even if it's not, this sounds really bad, even if it's not killing people right off, the pollution and stuff that is, I mean, breathing that is really screwing up your lungs. So even if it's not, fatal, it's still very dangerous to their health.
Yeah, it is, and it's so sad that we're having these fires, and it's not even like July or August when you might expect fires. Here we are in November, and we're still having this. This is just horrible.
Yeah.
Well, Northern California especially is behind on rain this fall that we would normally have. And add in a Santa Ana and things just explode. There's 2 small fires here in San Diego tonight, I noticed in the news in between the shows. So hopefully they'll be able to knock those down. Next up, Mark has a news story I'm not going to comment on until he introduces it. Mr. Coughlin.
I have got an interesting story that I don't know where this came from, but Dubai now has new motorcycle cops that fly.
No, Mark.
Yes, indeed.
No, Mark.
Because having a Lambo as a cruiser was not enough. They had to jump into air travel for their motorcycle cops. So we've got here a 4-blade vehicle,
Quadcopter
vehicle that will allow you to travel at about 60 miles per hour for about 30 minutes and costs about $150,000 a pop.
Oh my gosh.
For 30 minutes.
For 30 minutes
time.
of charge, yes. So this electric vehicle will zip you along above the traffic at what cost? $150,000. Like it is remarkable. But take a look at this picture where they've got the other patrol cars in the background.
Go to the next one. You can see. Look at that one.
So I'm just.
Is that insane?
No. All I have to. Go ahead.
Oh no, Evan said, "Is that insane?" I said, "Yeah, it is."
Yeah.
The Dubai Police Department has a few bucks if you look at their patrol cars.
Oh yeah, I mean they're constantly just buying silly stuff. But what do you have to do? Like throw a twig in the air to bring this thing down? I mean, you don't even like throw a napkin out your window and boom, this guy's gone. That is the most ridiculous. Oh
yeah. So. I don't know what they're thinking about this. Like, it's so impractical at this point. Maybe it's just R&D. Maybe they were given it. Who knows? But it's obviously it's something they're looking into. But man, it just makes no sense at this point. I think this is just for publicity.
This is their way of saying we have too much damn money.
Yeah, they do.
New sport in Alabama, like shooting those flying goppers.
Mark, I would like to thank you for taking my efforts at trolling Russell on the webpage and bringing them onto the actual show. Thank you very much, my brother.
And that's coming from this in the States. Like, how many people would get hit by those blades if they actually used it? The people that would die just getting hit by the freaking blades.
Oh my gosh! If it was to land beside somebody, it'd chop their heads off.
Oh my gosh!
Where? Yeah. Oh, a little low. Chop, chop, chop.
Don't call 911 in Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to send the chopper, and they mean that literally.
There's no extra charge for the haircut that you got while you got your ticket.
Yeah. You call it a haircut, we call it a beheading. Thank you.
Like a screen shroud around the fan blades or something.
You would think, right?
Yeah, like the airboats have.
A little bit of safety. A little bit.
It doesn't look as cool.
Yeah, who needs that?
And I'm hoping they have very sharp titanium blades.
Yeah.
Okay, not plastic or nylon or something. Well, it looks like he might be back. Might he be back? Tony?
Okay, just his avatar is back.
Tony's just his avatar is back. So Tony,
Apparently,
and
the
I-
hover cop got him.
Got him. Yep.
Mhm.
yeah, he's staggering. Tony and I have two related stories. So I'll do mine first, and then Tony, are you there yet? No, Tony can follow up. Green Car Reports definitely has the headline of the week. And I'm just going to read it. Quote, VW is planning to build 50 million electric vehicles. Unquote.
Okay.
At Disney World.
Over the next 50 years.
I just like, why even? I don't even know. Like if your website is, I'm sorry, Paul.
Everybody's planning to build 50 million vehicles.
Right. It
I'm
may
planning
take
to do it too.
Right.
I probably won't execute my plan, but
Yeah, I'm only planning on 25 million, but whatever.
well, VW wants you to know that they have already sourced batteries for 50 million electric cars.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Of course they
Okay.
have.
This is apparently VW Group CEO Herbert D's version of.
We don't have any reason to distrust VW at all.
All I'm
so
saying
Why
is,
would we be
cynical about VW as some of us might be. You might think, oh, what are they doing? They're buying up these supplies that battery companies need, and they're sitting on them. Maybe just to make it more expensive for everybody else who wants to buy those materials.
the first thing that ran through my head was another CEO that said funding secured. I went,
Battery
obviously,
secured. We have a name
it's-
for the show.
yeah, it's like the month for like stupid CEO proclamations. So that's fine. I get it. Whatever. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, 50 million, not 50 million.
I feel sorry for that one minimum wage employee that has to go around keeping all those batteries charged while they build the
Oh,
cars.
my God. And dusted. How long does it take to keep them clean, for God's sakes? I mean, by the time you get to 50 million, you got to go back to number one. It's caked. I don't know. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And yay, CEOs saying ridiculous things just for attention. Let's go back to
I think it's really the same thing that Ford recently said, where they were talking about how many EVs they could build. Well, yeah, what you could do and what you are doing. I could care less what you could do.
right.
Put up or shut up.
Right. Well, speaking of put up or shut up, Tony was going to do a story very much related to the idea that Volkswagen has reportedly announced. Well, they haven't announced. Reportedly, Volkswagen has a $23,000 Tesla competitor in the works.
Not a killer?
it's a Tesla competitor.
Competitor, not an right. It's not an EV. It's a Tesla competitor.
More people will click on it if they say Tesla.
It's an Engadget
yeah.
article, so it's really clueless. I mean, they talk about the Model Y, they talk about the Model 3 interchangeably. They don't really it's very vague and kind of confused. But needless to say,
Wow, that is all over the place, isn't it?
yeah, it's horrible.
Dieselgate and what the hell is your?
It's Engadget. I mean, they got to stop with the meth for a minute to type in the article.
Wow,
It's allegedly, yeah.
this is terrible.
It doesn't even, it contradicts itself.
Oh, really?
200,000 vehicles, and then a little later in the paragraph, with the goal of selling 10 million vehicles.
Well, they're going to sell them multiple times.
Yeah.
They're going to sell the same vehicle 200 times.
That's how you make profit.
Underpants, no method.
Exactly. Oh, what a wonderful reference. Yes, absolutely. Wow. And you know what? I don't even know why I have this story in here, but I'm just going to mention it. Does anybody know how much Elon Musk's jet cost?
No idea.
48 million.
Too low.
Oh, really?
Elon has one of the nicest jets. that you can own as a private individual. I mean, assuming you don't buy like a 787. He has a let's see, it's a Gulfstream G650ER. The ER stands for extended range. That means he has a range of 7,500 nautical miles. That's a long way to go. Yeah. Well, this jet also costs the base model $65 million.
Wow.
$65 million.
Pocket change.
Why I contributed $1,000 towards that.
A few SFG fines.
And I'm not going to shame him. He's a billionaire. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. It's environmentally, it's horrible, but he's a billionaire. He's not going to drive from his home in Malibu to work in Fremont. Okay. He's not going to take the train. There's no Hyperloop. He's going to get on his Gulfstream, which he does a few times a week, and flies up north and then flies back and flies wherever he wants. I get it. Damn, dude, $65 million. Holy
That's a lot of cash.
Is he like Travolta and has his own runway at his house?
No, he lands in Van Nuys.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's got to drive over the hills because his house is in Bel Air. But yeah, he
an airstrip into the ocean, and
they could. I mean,
he could land on one of his barges.
if he just buy one of those Dubai hover things,
oh yeah,
he could land in the backyard.
and bike.
That's just crazy.
Oh, now I know why he keeps mentioning his idea for a VTOL.
Oh yeah,
It's so that he can get back and forth to the airport.
Right. Well, I mean, and he lands in San Jose usually, which isn't that far. I mean, it's traffic's always crappy on those freeways, but that's not a bad drive. But the drive from Van Nuys over the hills to Bel Air is a really sucky drive.
First Hyperloop, go in there.
I'm sorry?
First Hyperloop will be built there.
Built there. Well, you know why he wants that thing now, right? Like, yeah. And we're going to make a branch of the Van Nuys Airport just by accident, you know.
Is that why he lives close to Dodger Stadium? Maybe he's moving.
No.
That's why.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, what was the name of the station? That house they bought?
O'Leary or something.
O'Leary, yeah, O'Leary Station. Yep, that's going to be his new digs.
That house might be a little small for him. I don't know if you've seen his Bel Air digs, but Elon's
big
not
swimming pool, private tennis court.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice. Yeah,
slaves' quarters in the back. I mean, he's got it all going on.
No plantation. No.
No plantation. Of course, the slaves live underground where slaves should live.
Oh, I'm out.
No.
You had to
Oh, man.
You had to go there. This is not right.
I did.
You see how seamlessly he went there, though? It was just like, boom.
I all day long I've been hoping somebody would push me in that direction. Who's trolling who, baby?
Yeah, you got me.
And I say that because Patrick is such a good troll and trolls me constantly on the What Drives This news feed. I can tell, like, some of the stuff he posts is like, no one cares about this but me. And he's doing this just like, look at this stupid motorcycle, Russell.
Yep.
Finally, another story that Tony was going to take, but apparently his porn overloaded the computer. Or, and so forgive me, I'm not super up on this. There's a thing called a Nissan NP300 hardbody. Anybody ever heard of that? It's a Nissan truck. Let me show you a photograph of the Nissan NP300 hardbody. What makes this car special, you ask? How about 0-star crash rating?
That was possible.
How about, like, if you get in a crash, you're dead meat?
Wow. Yeah, that's like where they take out the airbags and just put in claymore mines that explode when you hit something. That's 0 stars.
Is there a negative option?
I don't know.
Wow.
0-star
collides with the dummy's chest. Yeah.
Yes. That's
And they got the nerve to call it a hard body.
right. Well, it is a hard body. It's just not hard on your, but it's hard on your body.
Yes.
Yeah. High probability of life-threatening injury in a crash, which means you're dead meat.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, okay. In the United States, it's called the Frontier. It was introduced in 1997. They updated it in 2004. Apparently it's a global vehicle. But yeah, at 40 miles an hour, the truck structure collapsed. The steering column collided with the driver dummy's chest. Poor protection, marginal safety for the passenger. The quote from David Ward, Secretary General of Global NCAP, is, quote, "The NP300 hardbody is ridiculously misnamed as its body shell has collapsed."
Wow. How can those even be legal to sell? Are they trying to get a class action lawsuit? What's going on here?
They sell that in North America, right? This was a test in South Africa.
Yeah, I don't know. Or are they allowed to sell it? It just has this horrible rating so that you buy it and you know it. We don't want to invoke the nanny state here, do we?
So it sells the 2019 Nissan Frontier.
Yeah.
Sells for under $19,000 base price.
Well, who wouldn't love to own one of those?
After you see the crash test, maybe.
Yeah. This is the vehicle you buy and give to someone you don't like.
Wow. That is terrible.
Yeah, it is awful. But yeah. So I like the way the wheel is back up. I don't know. Let me put this picture back up here. Just note everyone.
Glove box.
Note everyone where the front wheel on the passenger side is.
Yeah.
You see that? That's not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
that's where your feet are if you're in the passenger
pushing into the shins of the passenger.
Pickup bed, you would have been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cargo survived wonderfully.
Yeah, I don't know. That launch angle looks like it'd put you in the next county, though.
Yeah, it does.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, there have to be some safety standards.
Where the driver's head hit it.
I'm sorry?
The glass bursting through the windshield where the driver's head hits it.
Yeah, it's not. All of us who are old enough to remember cars in the 70s and how people died in traffic accidents, this is like a horrible retelling of that.
That is nasty.
Yeah, awful. Well, hey, cheers to Nissan. I'm sure they're going to be sponsoring the show very soon. Brought to you by the Nissan Frontier. Drive it once, you'll love it. Let's do some shout outs and go home. I think we've been good, right? Paul, I'm sorry, actually. Paul, did you have a story?
Yeah, I had one last story. It's not quite a green car, but semi-green. You may have been seeing lately Toyota's promoting and advertising their Corolla wagon or hatchback, Corolla hatchback, I mean. And there was an article in Consumer Reports this month, and a couple things that caught my attention. One was they got rid of Entune. And that's great.
Whoa.
But the bad news is it's only Apple CarPlay friendly, not Android friendly. So I guess they assume everybody who buys a Corolla hatchback is an Apple person, not an Android person. So they're moving in the direction, but they do need to have both platforms supported from the factory and let the consumer use what they like. It'd be like saying, well, we have a cup holder that only holds Pepsi cans and not Coke cans,
Well, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then the other thing that I thought was really cool, it's a basic hatchback car, gets 36 mpg highway, which is not too shabby, but it comes with all the safety stuff, not shit.
safety shit, that's fine. That's a technical term.
Departure warning, all that cool stuff that we feel every car should have comes in a Corolla hatchback, which is very neat. So an entry-level car comes with some really nice safety features. So gold star for Toyota for that.
I drove that car earlier this year. The IM version, the stick shift version, is actually really cool. Right. The intelligent manual shifting that it has, the rev matching, is really slick. I mean, you have to really blow the shift hard for it not to go, which is cool. I mean, it doesn't take any of the fun away from having a manual. It just makes it easier and quicker.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. And it's a decent priced car, and it has a fair bit of features. So
Yeah.
for someone who can't afford a hybrid or an EV and wants a good EconoBox type hatchback, that's safe, unlike the Nissan truck there.
Right. I was going to say it probably has more than 0-star safety rating.
No, yeah. It has a good safety rating, and it's fun to drive. I mean, if you want the little hot hatch thing going on,
It's like 168 horsepower or something, not tons, but
No.
enough for the size of the car.
yeah, I mean, it's, again, you're shifting it manually. So, it's like a 0 to 40 car.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So anyway, that I just thought it was neat that they're the high end features that 3 years ago were only on Mercedes and Audis are now coming into Corollas. Safety features.
That's great, especially when there's safety features.
Yeah. Toyota's been a leader on that. You have to give them credit. When they debuted that safety suite, they put it in the entire line of vehicles.
Yeah.
And
you know what? From their point of view, they put it in all their cars. The cost per car is not going to be a lot because they're going to order 10 million doodads from the supplier.
Right. Economy of scale.
and they get better ratings, they get lower insurance, which makes their customers happy, and all of this, and their customers live to buy another car.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a good point.
You know,
Yeah, you don't want to keep off your customer base.
it's a good way to do business.
That's, apparently Nissan doesn't follow that same philosophy.
Buy one and we're done with you. Thanks.
Yeah, hold on, I'm pulling this down off the shelf.
Yeah, what is it,
Oh,
Paul?
yeah, give us a clue.
So hey, we have the guesses that we have, Paul.
Do we have guesses? Oh,
We have a few guesses. Somebody guessed the Model 3 touchscreen. Somebody guessed the Model S. Somebody guessed a Coda. And let's see,
Well,
Philip.
he's got 3 of them. It's nothing Coda related.
Dakota.
That would be their entire fleet.
right.
Philip. Oh, what did Philip say? Oh crap! I lost it here. Shit. I can't find it. Sorry, Philip.
Repost it, Philip. Repost it.
Well, Philip will know if he's right.
Here
We'll-
comes the fail.
Okay.
All right.
That's
They
a center
recognize-
stack.
Is that from a Leaf?
No.
No.
It's a center stack from.
Oh, that's not what I thought it was gonna be.
Screen. What the hell is?
Oh, is that a Gen 1 Prius?
Bingo.
No.
Ah.
I was like, that's way old. What the hell is that?
The cassette deck.
Cassette deck. And the reason I have these is because they're almost impossible to remove without shattering them into like 300 pieces. And I have 3 good used ones here. So if anyone has shattered theirs into 300 pieces, give me a call.
Wow.
That is not what I thought that was going to be.
The
That's
Gen 1 Prius center stack. Sweet.
nice.
That's beautiful,
What
Paul.
do I win? What are you giving away, Russell?
You get a gold star from Paul. And I think that translates into a free car.
Yes.
But you just have to go to Boulder and
I'm on my way.
yeah. There you go. Mark, I need to check in with you.
I just wanted to mention about the 300th show. We do have another contest that's going on, and that allows you, the viewer, to join us on show 300. So if you have a high-speed internet connection, you have a camera and a working mic and a set of earbuds, you can be on the show. All you need to do is send us a note through our Facebook page letting us know that you would be interested in being part of it. If you don't use Facebook, I guess you could send it to our Twitter feed as well. So either or, send us a note, let us know you'd be interested. We're not going to accept everybody, but we are going to be paring down the list shortly and letting those know who wanted to be on the show who can be. Because obviously there's a bandwidth issue. We can't take everybody, but we can take a group of people. So
Right.
get on this right away, get on the list, and you too can be with us on December the 5th.
Woohoo! December 5. And there'll be some other, hopefully, special guests.
And of course, Russell's already mentioned there'll be cake. So
Nice.
The sad
cake.
part is I'm the only one that gets cake. That's the shitty thing about me being the host. I'm going to eat all the cake throughout the whole show. I'll just eat cake. Which really, when you think about it, no, I'm not going to do that. That's disgusting. Horrible. So thank you very much for that. And let's see. What do you got there, Evan?
I'm just for the love of beer.
For the love of beer. Thank you, Evan. So, Paul, let's do some shout outs. We'll start with you.
I'm going to plug Boulder Hybrids, our website, boulderhc.com. Soon to have a used car sales website. It's not quite ready yet, but so people will be able to see our inventory of used Priuses, Leafs, Volts, Teslas when we have them, etc. But got a couple of nice used Leafs right now, Highlander Hybrid, Lexus. But anyway, you guys can find me at boulderhc.com if you want to buy a car, you're in the Colorado region, or get your car fixed.
Boulderhc.com. Go and bug Paul. Buy a car from him. I'd like to buy a car from him, but he won't sell one to me.
No.
I don't know. Something about me not having money.
Yeah, having the ability to pay kind of helps.
Oh, you have to actually pay for things. I thought it was Colorado. It was like all kind of, hey, we're good, right? We're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great weed for it.
Can just bring you a big bag of weed. That's it. Speaking of a big bag of weed, Dr. Evan Fusco.
Well, Missouri did just pass the medical marijuana law, and I will apparently be legal to prescribe it soon. Yes, so we will see.
I'm waiting for my script, doctor.
My glaucoma. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh, it was an interesting race too. If you didn't get a chance to read about the Missouri medical marijuana laws.
Did you have the 3 competing issues that were overlapping? And yeah, it was horrible.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, my shout out goes to Paul Gusick as well in Boulder Hybrids. And I really appreciate you coming down, picking up my car and selling it for me. And I will get you that paperwork as soon as I can.
Cool.
Well, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Evan. Mr. Connor.
Hello, I am with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I write occasionally at carswithcords.net. And I did a shout out for XRAC on the Tesla Life, and I'll just show a little bit of it here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so as you can see, I'm sharing this picture here. So I went into the whole story about how I was camping, and even with the frunk and everything, I didn't have room for all my gear. And when I had a Honda Passport, I had a Thule box that went up on top, and so I could throw stuff in there. But with the Falcon Wing doors, that's not an option. So I was looking for something else, and I found this, the X-Rack. And it goes into the tow hitch on the Model X. And the thing that's cool about it is you see that weird shape it's got there. The corners are trimmed, and I was like, why does it do that? And boom, there you go. It folds in.
So sweet.
And it replaces the cover, the cargo cover at the back. So you've got it right there in your vehicle. It's stored with you all the time. And it's even got when you have it installed, there's a hitch on the back of it where you can put other tow receivers. So you could put a bike rack or snowboard rack on there. And it's also got a rainproof bag. So after I got this and I was so happy with it, I started chatting with them and said, hey, I'm on this podcast and I can plug your show. But it'd be a whole lot better if you gave me a discount code that I could share. And they said, we don't have a program to do that. And I said, well, this is your chance to make one. So they did. So there you go. You have a 10% discount code. If you go to xrack.us and you put in PC 2018-10, you get 10% off.
So could you line up 10 X-Racks behind each other? Just
they do have a weight rating. But yeah, you can actually plug one into the other. And I don't know what the law would be on how far back you could go. Yeah. You need taillights or something. But,
just add one at a time, Evan, until the police pull you over.
But we looked at that website on the Tesla Life, and they have a lot of really actually cool accessories that go with that, and it's a nice website. So give them some money.
Yeah, very cool. xrack.us. Remember, the PC 2018-10 saves you 10% off if you have a Model X. It's awesome.
And a hitch receiver.
Well, they all don't they. You have to buy the hitch receiver?
You do have to buy that, yeah. It's not a standard.
Silly me. For some reason, I thought it was standard. Oh, well. Okay. Mr. Coughlin.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on Evan's piece there about medical marijuana making its debut in Missouri, just to show them up. We've gone full metal jacket up here in Canada, as you can see. All these people have glaucoma, Evan. So we're ahead of you a little bit.
Gosh.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Epidemic.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
It's
I know.
just crazy,
I love
man.
that shot.
It's just crazy. So yeah,
I thought Canada was having wildfires, and it turns out it was just legalization.
it was just legalization. That's all it was.
They're just burning lettuce in Canada. It's okay.
That's right. That's
Why
right.
not?
I don't know what was that building in the background.
That was Parliament Hill.
So that's in
That's in Ottawa, Ontario.
In Ottawa,
It's
okay.
the nation's capital. It's where the Prime Minister and the different dignitaries get together to make laws in Canada. So they wanted to show that they were successful. Yes,
Show their appreciation.
exactly.
A
wow.
little secondhand love.
I love that. So I guess it comes down to me then.
Yep.
I want to thank Lee Moon, who I didn't thank on the Tesla show, for doing the music for the Tesla show. Lee, thank you very much. My bad for doing that. I think Evan jumped in to save me. Thank you, Evan. As always, I want to thank Michael Manring for our theme music here. You can visit him at manthing.com. We're at What Drives Us most of social media, facebook.com/What Drives Us. We're at What Drives Us on Twitter. Huge, two big favors for the next 2 weeks. Okay. We're off for 2 weeks, but we need something from you. Go to patreon.com/What Drives Us show. Give us $1 a month. That's it. Just $1 a month. We want to hit $20 a month, right? $20 a month is nothing, but it's going to allow us to put the website on a new hosting plan. We're already working on moving it. We're like more than halfway there. So if a half dozen of you kick down with $1 a month, we'd be living large. Woo, woo, woo. Patreon.com/What Drives Us show. Instagram, you can find us at What Drives Us show as well. And of course, the other important one, we're at 689 subscribers on YouTube. That's youtube.com/What Drives Us. 11 more of you go in and hit that subscribe button. We get to 700. And yeah, we're just going to say the same thing when we get close to 800 too. But I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Paul?
but it would be cool to hit 700 for show 300.
Absolutely.
500, sorry. Yes, 300.
Absolutely. Yeah, we would love that. So do you have 11 friends that haven't watched the show that haven't subscribed? Ask them to. It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't cost
You have
anything.
11 sock puppet accounts? Use those.
We, of course, would not tell you to do anything that would violate YouTube's user terms. But if you did, we wouldn't be bummed. Am I allowed to say that? I think I am. That doesn't sound like me encouraging anyone to break any user terms. So that's it. As always, wow, huge panel tonight. Really great show. Thank you, Paul, Evan, Patrick, even Mark.
Thanks.
Mr. Glow in the Dark Toonie. Thank you, sir. And our thanks for Tony to Tony Schaefer for trying. And I hope the hotel porn's entertaining you, my friend. So we'll see you in 2 weeks for show 300, December 5th, show 300. Until then,
Yeah.
have fun. And we'll be back. Download us on December 5th to find out what drives us. It's so weird. Go. There we go. It's so weird saying we're not going to be on for 2 weeks, but we'll be back.
I'll be back.
LA Auto Show, Thanksgiving. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving out there, by the way. And we will talk with you all very, very soon. Thanks.